am Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is a Brooklyn, New York native who rose to fame in the 1980s rap group trio Whodini. And they brought us great songs like 5 Minutes of Funk, and they also asked us the question, friends, how many of us have them? And if you talk too much, you were labeled a big mouth. And today I want you to help me welcome one-third of the group Whodini. He goes by the name of the Grandmaster Dee, as he talks about his TV One Unsung episode, The Story of Whodini. Help me welcome Grandmaster Dee to the show. How you doing, Grandmaster Dee?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. I feel very blessed.
Hey, well, I'm blessed just like you. Praise God.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I want to ask you, were you surprised when you got the call from TV One saying they wanted to do a story on Whodini?
Yeah, I was very surprised. Back then when we first started, you didn't see nobody doing shows like that, and I knew like in the last few years, lately, I've been seeing, the reality shows and the what happened here and now, the here and now shows. And I was wondering when they did the Fat Boys, and I was wondering when they was going to do Whodini.
And they came calling, huh? Because they did. I think the Fat Boys was like Life After. And now, question for you. Yeah. What did you think unsung meant when they called you for unsung? Did you think that meant that your career was over?
No, you know what? A lot of people ask that. And, they figure that when they do that on you, like you're over. Mm-hmm. Either you passed away or you just over with the music industry. But to me, I felt it was a blessing that they called because you get a chance to tell your side of your story, and people get a chance to hear about what you've been going through in life, and in this respectful way. And it's like, to me, it's just a blessing to be a part of it. That's all. I want to be seen on TV where the people can see what we've been going through in life, raising families, and and still doing shows as today.
That's good. And that's what it's really about. It really lets us know that you're still there and also that your life has evolved. That's why I really love the shows like Life After and Unsung. So that's why I give TV One big kudos for that. But we're going to talk about the group Whodini. Tell us about first off, how was the name acquired, Whodini?
Well, Jalil came up with the name Whodini, and it really was done through a guy named Mr. Magic. And he was on a radio station in New York. And, he was on a station called WHBI, and Jalil used to go to the station all the time, and he was like his protege. And they used to answer phones for him. And he was the first to put rap on radio in New York, Mr. Magic. So at that time, I think it was a group, it was another radio, it was the same radio station. They had these guys called the Supreme Team. They had came out first with a record, and the world-famous Supreme Team with Mark and McClary. And at that time, they asked Mr. Magic what he liked to do a record. And Mr. Magic was getting ready to get under contract, I think, with WBLS. And he couldn't do it. So since he couldn't do it, he passed it on to Jalil. And then Jalil, he gathered up X, because he knew X lived not that far away from him. And they started creating some. And then later on down the line, they got in touch with me. And, I had joined the group. And that's how it started.
Now, your group consisted of Jalil Hutchins, John Fletcher, as we know, as Ecstasy, and yourself. How did you all actually meet and become a group?
Yeah, well, we met, I met, Ecstasy knew Jalil. They both knew each other because they lived not that far from each other in the same neighborhood. And they were already in two different groups, and I was in another group, and they didn't know me at the time. So what happened was I used to call a radio station all the time with Mr. Magic. Every Thursday he comes on at, I think it's every Thursday, late at night, and then we were calling and check in, and Jalil would always answer the phone and let everybody know, and certain people calling in, they would shout your name out on the radio, so we'd do that every week. And next thing you know, Mr. Magic one day, I contacted him, he said, "Why don't you come down and help me out and help promote this show?" It was like Sugar Hill Gang, the Funky 4+1, and a couple other groups. So I said, yeah. I went up there, and he gave me some posters, and I helped promote it, right? And when I first got there, I got introduced to Jalil, and we started talking about music and this and that, and I told him my name. He said, "You Master Dee out of Brooklyn?" And there was another guy named Master Dee, too, so me and him started talking, and next thing you know, he said, "Well, we're looking for a DJ or whatever, and we could probably put something together." So later on, he came by my house that week, him and X, and seen how I was spinning, and they liked how I was spinning, and we connected from there.
Okay, just that simple. And with that relationship, you guys had some groundbreaking songs. So how did you become like a rap group? I know you were a DJ. So whose idea was to say we're going to become a rap group?
Yeah, I had two female rappers. One was Dimples D and one was Giggles G's. And Dimple D is the one that did a song with Marley Marl called Sucker DJs. And those was my MC back then. And right after that, I had met Jallo and X at the radio station. And that's when we were talking about trying to put some group together. And they had him and X just getting together, and they wanted to put me in. They wanted to hear the sounds that I had, how could I scratch, see my performance on the turntables. And then it went from there.
Okay. Well, if you're just tuning in, we are talking to Grandmaster Dee of the rap group Trio Whodini. We're talking about their TV One Unsung special entitled The Story of Whodini. You all had some groundbreaking songs back in the day, like Friends. What was the inspiration behind that song, Friends?
I mean, Jallo, he's gifted, and he was the one that wrote 90% of the songs, and he's a good writer. And he came up with the idea of Friends. And I mean, Larry played on the music. Larry Smith, to me, he's one of the all-time producers of all-time hip-hop producer. He's the one that did Curtis Blow. He did Run DMC and Confunction. He did a lot of different groups. But at that time, to me, Larry Smith was Quincy Jones of rap to me, and when he came with the Friends, the lyrics, Larry added the great music to it because the music went right along with the lyrics.
Did you expect the song to be as big as it was?
Yeah, the song was big. I mean, the lyrics meant so much, especially at that time and during that time when rap was just really breaking really mainstream. And I mean, everybody in rap records were talking about themselves. Mm-hmm. And Whodini wanted to be different. And we wanted to make good music, classic music, but not only that, we wanted the lyrics to be positive,
And it was, too, because one of my funny songs is Big Mouth. Yeah. Okay, and I was wondering, was that ever a song that somebody actually went through that situation? I know you said Jalil wrote about 90% of your songs.
Jalil, he wrote that. He wrote that about the people who lived around his neighborhood. Some couple of girls always yelling, "Won't you make a song about me? Won't you make a song about me?" And then he just went back in and started thinking about that, and then he wrote it about him.
And he wrote Big Mouth. Okay, so that's good. Well, you guys are also honored at the VH1 Honors. What was that like to even be recognized by VH1? Just to know that.
Yeah, 2007. We were. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
I can hear. I'm here.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, 2007. VH1 Hip Hop Honors. They honored Whodini, and it was a blessing, and it was awesome. I mean, and for them to really come and reach for us and honor us, and we want to thank the people for voting for us. That was real important for them to do that, and because we really laid the groundwork for a lot of rappers that's out there today, and a lot of people today always say Whodini was one of the underrated rappers of all time. We never gained our props that we were supposed to get. But I really feel we came in the game humble, and we stayed humble, and the music speaks for itself.
Because your music is still classic. And you guys did do some groundbreaking things. You were also on the Fresh Fest tour, which was one of the first hip-hop tours to play large coliseums. I know, because I was at the one in Oakland when Fresh Fest came. So what does it feel like to look back to know that you were a part of these groundbreaking moments, especially in rap and in coliseums?
Yes, you know what, and I still can remember from the day when it started. I mean, the blessing was God bringing all of us together. Here we are, rappers, just getting a chance to really, we got our albums out, and we just getting ready to see a lot of money at the time, but it wasn't what they getting today, like, you may say. But what it was to us, we loved this because it started in the streets and in the parks. So now we're getting the chance to go into coliseums with big groups like Earth, Wind and Fire played, James Brown, and you look at groups like Rolling Stones and these groups like that, and it was a blessing to see so many people come to hear us on stage. I mean, it was Run DMC, it was Whodini, it was Curtis Blow, and Fat Boys and everybody. It made us feel so good. And during that time, we had two stages. We had the breakdancers on one stage and the rappers on the other stage.
Wow. Wow.
The big point was, the biggest moment was, to me, was Madison Square Garden. We did 20,000 people. Oh, man, that was it. That's when I knew. And then Detroit, Joe Louis Arena, we had to come there 2 nights in a row to play. That's how hip-hop was breaking ground.
The one thing I can say that I love about New Yorkers truly support their own, because you're from New York and Madison Square Garden is in New York, and they came out to support you, just like how Jay-Z, people come out and support them. That's the one thing I can say about the loyalty of New Yorkers in their homeboys, or whoever they really love and who they enjoy. That's the one thing I can say I love about the state of New York. And you also tour, like you mentioned, Run DMC, LL Cool J, the Fat Boys. What do you think about the evolution of these careers? Because I know you saw Russell Simmons back in the day, with Run DMC. Look what he's doing now.
To me, Russell, was like a big brother. Russell showed us a lot, and I always respect Russell for what he has done for rap, and he saw a vision. And being around him, sometimes he'll laugh and joke with you. But then Russell, he started as a promoter back in the days, but he saw a vision and he went with it. And by him taking us on and Run DMC and everybody else, we all were like family on the road. We all was good to each other. We was all cool because all our tour buses rolled behind one another. And we seen this go from the clubs, playing in like the Red Parrot, playing in the Bentleys, or playing in Palladium in New York, and now we on the road. Now we playing 20,000 seats, but it was like his vision, it worked, and that's how he built the empire. And after us, it came the Will Smiths, it came the BC Boys, and everybody else came along. And that's what happened. Everybody wanted to be managed by Russell. And when you said Russell's name, it rang bells. But I look up to him a lot, and he showed me a lot, and he taught us all a lot. And he always cared about his group, and he always looked out for everyone.
That's good. And what about LL Cool J? Went from rapper who still raps, but went from rapper to now television star on television. Did you ever see the evolution of this?
No, and you know what? I am very proud of L, because L was like a younger brother to me. Because when we was already on, he was just coming in the office. I remember trying to get on, and a lot of times I took L under my wing and take him to clubs, and he was just coming out, and his records was mainly working in New York first. And I Need a Beat, that was real big, like in New York first. So I would take him to the clubs and hang out with him and just show him. He said, "Man, I want to battle everybody." He had that gift that he was ready for the world. He said, "I want to battle everybody." I said, "Oh, it's not about battle. It's about getting the money and make other moves." And then he was like, "I want to battle everybody. I don't care who it is. I'm ready. I'm ready." And next thing you know, he kept that mindset where he was going to go. And look where he at now. He never gave up. And I respect that. And he still show me love today. So I respect him, and I always will.
Now, do the group Whodini still perform around different cities?
Yes, we're currently on tour doing scattered dates. We just finished a big tour with Salt and Pepper, Dougie Fresh, and Big Daddy Kane was on some of the dates. And it was a great tour. A lot of people came out to see us, and Salt and Pepper and everybody. It was good. And it's a blessing. We're still able to work after all these years without a hit record. And it's like, there's always an audience going to be there. We got our audience, and then, like the new groups today, they got their audience, but we got our audience too.
That's right. That is so true. Well, Grandmaster Dee, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today, and I want to remind everyone to make sure they watch TV One's Unsung, The Story of Whodini, airing Monday, March the 12th. Yeah. March the 12th, airing.
Yeah, March the 12th. Everybody look. And it's going to be incredible. It's a good story. It's up and down, but we still around.
And that's good. As long as you're still here. As long as you're still here.
Yeah, that's the blessing. And I owe it all to God, because, without God ain't nothing possible, and I really look at wherever he takes us, I'm riding his wave. I'm ready to go.
I know that's right. Well, it was truly a pleasure having you on the show, and thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much. And my partners, they working on some stuff right now. I'm sorry, Joe, on X wasn't available, but we do.
Amen. Thank you so much.